the World War II, there were two national upsurge identified during the last 2 years of the British rule. One was the tortuous negotiations involving the government, Congress, and the Muslim League, and accompanied by communal violence. The other one was the sporadic, localized, and often extremely militant and united mass actions of the workers, peasants, and the states. These united massed actions could be seen in the INA release movement, Royal Indian Navy revolt, Tebhaga movement, Worli revolt, etc. Change in the government's attitude was evident when they lifted the ban on the Congress and released the Congress leaders in June 1945. They expected to find a demoralized people. Contrary to government's belief, the crowd was impatient to do something, and popular energy resurfaced after 3 years of repression, and people's expectations were heightened by the release of their leaders. Also, the Wavell Plan, backed by the Conservative government in Britain, failed to break the constitutional deadlock, and in July 1945, the Labour Party formed the government in Britain, and Clement Attlee took over as the new Prime Minister and Patrick Lawrence as the new Secretary of State for India. Also, in August 1945, the election to the central and provincial assemblies in India were announced. And in September 1945, it was announced that a constituent assembly would be convened after the election and that the government was working according to the spirit of Cripps' offer. The government's change attitude was dictated by many factors, like the end of the war resulted in a change in the balance of global power. Also, the new Labour government was more sympathetic to the Indian demands. Throughout Europe, there was a wave of socialist radical government, and the British soldiers were weary and tired, and the British economy lay shattered. After the war, there was an anti-imperialist wave in the Southeast Asia, in Vietnam and Indonesia, resisting efforts to replant the French and the Dutch rule there. Officials feared another Congress revolt, and the elections were inevitable once the war ended, since the last election had been held in 1934 for the centre and in 1937 for the provinces. The Congress elections were held in the winter in 1945 and 46. Also, the most significant feature of the election campaign was that it sought to mobilize the Indians against the British, and it did not just appeal to the people for votes. The election campaign expressed the nationalist sentiments against the state repression of 1942 Quit India upsurge. The mass pressurized for INA prisoners of war trial, which resulted in decisive shift in government policy. They compounded the folly by holding the first trial at Red Fort in Delhi November 1945 and putting on dock together a Hindu, Prem Kumar Sehgal, a Muslim, Shah Nawaz Khan, and a Sikh, Gurbaksh Singh Dhillon. The Congress supported for the INA prisoners, and INA Relief and Inquiry Committee distributed small sum of money and food and helped arrange employment for the affected. Funds were also collected by the organization. Those who supported the INA cause on varying degrees apart from Congress included the Muslim League, Communist Party, Unionist of Akalis, Justice Party, Arhars of Rawalpindi, Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh, Hindu Mahasabha, and Sikh League. The central theme became the questioning of the Britain's right to decide a matter concerning Indians. Also, the Britain realized the political significance of the INA issue, which with each day assumed more and more to be an Indian versus Britain color. Rebellion by the Indian naval rating was seen, and on February 18, 1946, some 1100 Royal Indian Navy ratings of HMIS Talwar went on a strike to protest against the racial discrimination and demanding equal pay for the Indian and the white soldiers, unpalatable food, abuse by the superiors, and arrest of a rating for scrawling Quit India on HMIS Talwar. Also for INA trials and use of the Indian troops in Indonesia demanding their withdrawal. The fearless action by the masses was an expression of militancy in the popular minds. Also, the revolt in the armed forces had a great liberating effect on the minds of the people, and a Royal Indian Navy revolt was seen as an event marking the end of the British rule. But these upsurges were short lived and were confined to a few urban centres, while the general INA agitation reached the remotest villages. The communal unity witnessed was more organizational than a unity among the people. Also, Muslim ratings went to the League to seek advice and rest to the Congress and the Socialists. As we all know, the election campaign expressed the nationalist sentiment against the state repression, and the government failed to check such speeches, and this had a devastating effect on the morale of the services. Now, the elections witnessed communal voting in the contrast to the strong anti British unity shown in various upsurges due to separate electorate, limited franchise. For the provinces, less than 10% of the population could vote, and for the Central Assembly, less than 1% of the population was eligible. The Congress got 91% of the non Muslim votes, and it captured 57 out of 102 seats in the Central Assembly. Also, in provincial elections, it got majority in the provinces except in Bengal, Sindh, and Punjab. The Congress majority provinces included Northwestern Frontier Province and Assam, which were being claimed for Pakistan. The Muslim League got 86.6% of the Muslim votes, and it captured 30 seats in the Central Assembly. Also, in the provincial election, it got a majority in Bengal and Sindh, and unlike in 1937, now the League clearly established itself as a dominant party among Muslims. In Punjab, a unionist Congress Akali coalition under Khizr Hayat Khan assumed the power. The Attlee government announced in February 1946 the decision to send a high-powered mission of 3 British cabinet members: Patrick Lawrence, Secretary of State for India; Stanford Cripps, President of the Board of Trade; and A.V. Alexander, First Lord of Admiralty. This mission was sent to India to find out ways and means for a negotiated, peaceful transfer of power to India. The British withdrawal was seen to be important now because of the success of the nationalist forces in the struggle for hegemony was fairly evident by the end of the war. Also, nationalism was penetrated in the hitherto untouched section and the areas of the territory. There was a demonstration in favor of nationalism among the bureaucracy and the loyalist sections. The British strategy of conciliation and repression had its limitation and contradictions. Also, constitutionalism or Congress Raj had proved to be a big morale booster, and demand for leniency for the INA prisoners from within the army, which raised fear for a mass movement by the Congress, like one in 1942, and this time with provincial government support. The only alternative was a full-fledged British rule, which was impossible, and as the efficient officials were not available. The government realized that a settlement was necessary for burying the ghost of a mass movement and for good future of Indo-British relations. The cabinet mission reached Delhi in March 1946, and the cabinet came to discuss about the interim government and the principles and procedures for framing a new constitution giving freedom to India. The mission rejected the demand of a full-fledged Pakistan, and they suggested a grouping of provincial assemblies into 3 sections. Section A Hindu majority province consisting of Madras, Bombay, Central Provinces, United Provinces, Bihar and Orissa. Section B a Muslim majority province with Punjab, Northwestern Frontier Province and Sindh. And finally, Section C of Muslim majority provinces of Bengal and Assam. The main point of the mission were 3-tier executive and legislature at the provincial, section and union levels, a constituent assembly which was to be elected by the provincial assemblies by proportional representation and voting in 3 groups: general, Muslims and Sikhs. In the Constituent Assembly, members from the group of A, B and C were to sit separately to decide the constitution for provinces and if possible for the groups also. Cabinet also suggested a common center would control the defense, communication and external affairs, and a federal structure was envisaged for India. The communal questions in the central legislature were to be decided by a simple majority of both the communities present and voting. The provinces were to have a full autonomy and residual powers, and the princely states were no longer to be under the rule of British government. Meanwhile, an interim government was to be formed from the Constituent Assembly, and after the first general elections, a province was to be. The Muslim League on June 6 and Congress on June 24, 1946 accepted the long-term plan put forward by the Cabinet Mission. In July 1946, elections were held for the Constituent Assembly, and on July 10, 1946, Nehru claimed to be free from all the bounds before entering the Constituent Assembly. There was a probability of no grouping like Northwestern Frontier Province and Assam may have objection joining to the Section B, which was Muslim majority states, and Section C, again the Muslim majority states. Since Northwestern Frontier Province and Assam were necessary for Pakistan demand, on July 29, 1946, the League withdrew its acceptance to the long-term plan in response to Nehru's statement and gave a call for direct action from August 16 to achieve Pakistan. A Congress-dominated interim government headed by Nehru was sworn on September 2, 1946, and Nehru continued to insist on his party's opposition to the compulsory grouping. Wavell, the then Viceroy, quietly brought the Muslim League into the interim government on October 26, 1946. The League was allowed to join without giving up on the direct action plan, and also despite its rejection to the Cabinet Mission's long-term and short-term plans. Despite insistence on compulsory grouping with decisions being taken by a majority vote by a section as a whole. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful for you. For more videos, please subscribe our channel.